You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 613, recorded on January 10th, 2016. Tonight brought to you by CravenSpeed.com, MotoringStripes.com, and OutMotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's OutMotoring.com. Yeah, 2017. Hi, welcome to it. Woo. Hey, everybody. It's
and none of us died. All right.
Hey, everybody. It's DB in Arizona with a brand new episode of World White Roof Radio. Wow. You guys are going to have to hunt around for some black roof here in a little bit when we're done. I'm not kidding. I'm going to post this one. Anyway, we're here talking about Mini Coopers. This is 2017. Everybody's back. Full crew. I mean, full crew tonight. We've got Todd's with us as always. Todd, say hi.
I am here, and I'm trying to catch up.
We're all kind of mostly sort of sick. The good Reverend is taking a break from his shop duties from Detroit Tune. DetroitTune.com. Mr. Chad Miller's joined us.
Thank God.
Yes. Alex is here.
Hi, guys.
Alex is getting bumped up in the rotation because Gabe's here.
Boom.
Gabe's here.
Hello.
There he is. Hi. And joined once again by Mr. Brian Dallas from Ride Bikes Radio as well. Brian, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Party of six.
Party of six.
Is he riding bike while we're podcasting? Right
Yes, he is actually. He's on his trainer riding Zwift through the city of London.
There we go.
A full bag of 6 podcasters.
Yes, and we're here. We are going to talk about Mini Cooper stuff for you on this fine evening, like we like to do. I'm hoping Gabe gives us a little bit of his take on the Countryman. I hope Gabe can share with us a little bit about what the next company car is going to be.
Yes.
Yes.
Who's excited about that?
That's-
I just want to.
We're saving it for this is the teaser portion of the show. Gabe, keep that in mind.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Where I'm going with this, DB, is just simply to tease out the fact that I have a full show for you guys tonight.
Wow, I don't even want to know what that means. Alex, don't
No
look
one
up
knows
full
what
show
it
either.
means.
I'm not gonna Google that, right?
Yeah, and then
okay.
and then Todd's done a bunch of research to throw at all you haters who keep saying that the Mini's too expensive. We're going to get to all that, plus God knows what else here in just a minute. Before we do, let's start reminding you guys about some sponsors here underneath the White Roof, right? Let's start off like we like to do with our friends over at Outmotoring. Outmotoring.com. I keep telling you guys, first of all, you need to sign up for the email newsletter from Outmotoring.com. Most of you probably get it, but 2017, make this the year that you actually just start getting the Outmotoring.com email newsletter and you stop texting me for the coupon codes, because I'm just going to start saying no. Sorry. So go over to Outmotoring.com, get subscribed. It's not that rough. And then once you do get subscribed, you get to find out all the really cool stuff that Aaron's got going on. So for example, upper stress bars, done. What else has he got going on? Black LED taillights. And this is the way to black out your taillights too, by the way. Don't ever tint your back taillights. If you do, I'm personally going to come and punch you.
So stupid.
So stupid. But if you do them like this, the black LED lights, where it's black on the back, but you can still see the lights, those look sharp. That's how you want to do it. And you know who's got those? Oh, Aaron. He's got them over at Outmotoring.com. And right now they're even on sale. Pretty rad. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's on sale. Don't even need a discount code. You're going to save up to 64%, like a whole bunch of personal items. Very cool stuff. Grill pieces, the chrome black grill trim that you guys like, the JCW bits even. He's got all those. And who here among us hasn't lost a wheel arch to a car wash? Raise your hand. That doesn't do an audio podcast.
Hands up.
Aaron's got those. Aaron's got those all day long for less than $40. I mean, that's what you're going to pay at the dealer's parts desk. Actually, you'll probably pay a little bit more. Aaron's got you covered. He's got all your parts. He has all the replacement hardware that you need. Those crazy little plastic screws that always break, and the little snap together bits that always snap and get all messed up. And he's got all of those, and you can just order like one at a time. It's awesome. Go over there, check it out. Outmotoring.com. And don't forget too, one of the nice things about Outmotoring, we really love him, is he's OG sponsor of White Roof Radio and MotoringFile pretty much since day one. Right? So he's always been here supporting us. So at least you guys can do is go over and help support him, adding like 2,000 new items every month of all the things that you need for your Mini or for yourself that's Mini related. Go over there, check it all out, please, if you would be so kind. And that, of course, those are our friends over at Outmotoring.com at Mini Performance, Speed, and Speaker and Handle Trim in Anthracite. That's Outmotoring.com. How about some of that news music for 2017?
Oh, there you go. I'll be right back. I gotta go feel the taillight tape off my cars.
Is that a euphemism? No, it's not.
Could be.
That could be. That could be. Alex, are you on show topic duty tonight, sir?
I can be on show topic duty, yeah.
You know what? I'm finding
Not
there
show
is
top-
a
show titles.
flaw in this website.
Oh, are you talking about the configurator?
Chad's looking at the
Yeah.
configurator.
Yeah, there's more than one.
Just one.
There's like if I wanted to I put the JCW exterior packages in there, and I decided to remove it. It then changes the color of the car. So I go back and change the color car. It puts the JCW package back in. You do that with anything, and it still keeps there's no refresh, start over thing.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
I noticed with the configurator that when you configure a Cooper S Countryman, not the all-4, just the Cooper S Countryman, it looks like you can actually get it with a manual transmission when, in fact, at launch you can't.
You cannot.
You cannot.
So you know what makes
Which I
great,
tweeted to Mini USA, and they
radio?
replied back to me on that.
What's that?
6 guys configuring minis.
Oh, yep, for real. So I mean, this is awesome. So hang on, I'm almost done.
But the
No, I don't want that.
answer, DB to your question is that the Cooper S will be available eventually.
Eventually, with the manual, right?
Should we talk about, because I think there's obviously some news to talk about, but maybe we start with the configurator.
Yeah, let's start with the configurator.
and
I like it.
Countryman.
Yeah.
Because so Todd, do you want to continue with that?
Yeah. So this is very similar to when the JCW came out last year. It was offered just with the automatic transmission. The manual was available for first, I want to say 6 or 8 weeks.
Right.
Maybe even longer than that before it came out. And it was just it was a production thing and a product availability thing. And so basically, you can get the manual on it's standard on the Cooper All-4, and the Cooper S All-4, but not the Cooper S. I don't know.
That sounds like it might be a supply issue.
Yeah, there's something about that's fishy, but it's legit, and it's not going to be forever. People can just stop freaking out about it.
I'm gonna freak out about it.
Yeah, I think there are people, and I will say that it's the kind of thing that's worth freaking out about in terms of just holy shit, it's a mini, and wait, what? There's only an automatic. If you don't have MotoringFile or whatever to go to figure this out, I can imagine it could be a little bit confusing. But Todd, to your point, the reality is Mini would never allow that.
Right.
We know Mini pretty well, Mini USA specifically, and they're pretty dedicated to the manual transmission across every variation of the product. So it will be coming. It is just a production issue right now. So it should be momentary.
Here's the thing right now. Here's the benefit, I guess, if you look at it, is that the the difference between the Cooper S and the Cooper S All-4 is only $500.
I thought that was amazing. That's only a $500 price difference.
Yeah, it's $500. Now, granted, you don't get the automatic transmission in the All-4 as standard. So
I'm going to ask a stupid question. So the price that I see in the configurator right now is including the automatic transmission. Is that true?
Yes,
correct.
That's correct.
So if I order the manual from my dealer, it's actually less.
Yeah, the price is probably going to change. I think they accounted for it for now, just to make.
And you can go back to MotoringFile and take a look at the original price, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not doing that as we speak and doing the math, but I suspect that there's a difference there.
Yeah, it is more, and some people said it is more, and that's the reason why.
Yeah.
That is
so. It begs the question to all 6 of us here: how would we spec our Countryman?
Well, I tell you right now, Todd and I are on the same page with this one, so I'm gonna let Todd speak for me, and we'll let everybody else go.
Well, and here's the thing. Let's preface this.
Except for color, that's the only difference between Todd and I.
I looked at a lot of the comments over at MotoringFile on the post about the Countryman configurator, because now it's the first opportunity people get to build this thing and say, this is how much my dream Countryman's going to be, if you will, right?
Right.
And everybody's going, oh my gosh, I built one and it was almost $40,000. And I go, okay. So I go in and I build, a Countryman S the way I'd want to. And I think it was the All-4 because of the manual thing. And I came up with 36 and change. It was like 36.8, 36.9, something like that. And that was
That's
pretty reasonable.
Pretty reasonable.
I had tech. The car comes with everything else you need. It's got heated seats. It's got LED headlights. It's got backup camera. And if you put the technology package in, you get the head-up display, you get navigation, and I think I added the automatic tailgate, the automatic boot.
Oh, so the premium package.
So anyway, I thought it was pretty reasonable, and people's, were complaining about it, and then went and built a bunch of other things in competition to this, like say a Honda CR-V, a Mazda CX-5, things that people are going to compare it to.
Right.
And yes, those are $5,000 cheaper, equivalently equipped to the Cooper S. But I think what you do is you build the Cooper all four. Mm-hmm. You've got all-wheel drive and everything on it, and then they're pretty much dollar for dollar the same. And I think if you're going to buy a Honda CR-V, you're going to be fine with a Cooper all four. I'm just going to say that right now.
Right.
If you're okay with the drivability of a Honda CR-V or even a Mazda CX-5, you'll be fine with the Cooper all four.
Especially if you put the dining kit on it.
And the Cooper all four equipped out with some really nice kit is about $31.
Yeah. Technology, you put the technology package, JCW interior package on it, 18-inch wheels, you're at 31, almost 32.
Yeah.
With all four.
I don't think that's unreasonable for those of us who bought a Mini back in 2002, 2003 and paid, let's say, between 26 and 30 for a Cooper S.
Right.
I don't think it's unreasonable to think 15 years later, hey, it hasn't increased that much.
I think that's really fair. I mean, I get that people are on a budget, and it's, I think that it's hard to hear that Mini is a premium vehicle, but the reality is, Todd, I mean, we've been saying this on this podcast for a very long time.
Yeah.
The Mini's never going to win on price. It's a premium vehicle. And listen, are there issues with that? Like, do people have, horrible issues, from time to time with the car that, that sort of like speaks to it not being a premium vehicle? Sure. But I mean, by and large in the marketplace, it is and is considered a premium vehicle. And therefore, it's priced as such. And I would say that, there's a lot of vehicles that consider themselves a premium vehicle that don't quite meet what the Mini provides as far as driving, experience, ownership experience, maintenance, free everything.
Well, here's where I finally drew the line myself personally. I've been thinking a lot about this, thinking, hey, the next show we have, I want to talk about this. I was on vacation, went out of town, went to Vegas for the week around Christmas, and rented an Audi when I was out there. I had an A3, not the top of the line, but it's something that is price-wise competitive to a highly equipped Mini, okay? It's possible in theory. And the car was horrible. I hated the Audi. I hated everything about it. The ergonomics were bad. The quality wasn't what I would expect. And I get back in my Mini when I come home. I'm like, okay, there's two things. I drove mine and I drove the 2013 Roadster. And it's freezing outside. It's, 25 degrees and I'm driving the Roadster. And it is warm as can be and comfortable as can be. And it puts a smile on my face. And I'm driving and the feeling of driving is something that I still say, and all of us here say, you can't put a price on it. And if all you're doing is shopping for a car on price, the Mini is not for you. But get in and drive it and see how you feel and know every day I'm going to have to drive this whatever soulless Honda CR-V to work every day, and it's going to suck the life out of me. Or I get to have fun at least a couple of times a day driving from work into the grocery store.
It's so true. I mean, I think that's exactly it. I mean, you encapsulated it. So basically, you've got the question, like, what do you value? Do you value spending an extra $80 a month on a car payment, or maybe even more than that, for something that you truly enjoy and you drive? If you commute, you drive this thing twice a day, and sometimes for a long distance. And it's is it your like sanctuary? Like, is it your like cocoon? Like, if it is, like, it really matters to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a big deal to me to come back and get in my car and go, oh my gosh, this just feels like home. I love it so much, and it's worth every penny of $40-some thousand this car cost.
Yeah,
so
that's awfully sweet, Todd.
Normally when I'm speccing out a car, I'll make sure that the interior is the best I can because that's where you spend the most amount of time.
Yeah,
realistically.
Well, can I give everybody a pro tip on that? Chad, good point. I'm going to give you a pro tip. I've done a lot of like recent mini, like press cars and test cars, and if you get the, so I'll just say, the best money you can spend, and I've said this for years since like the R53, are the things that you touch.
Right.
Yep. Oh,
And
right.
so to that point, put the best leather, in your hand. The best leather that Mini sells is the Mini Yours leather, whether it be on your seat or your steering wheel. The seats are expensive. I get it. You don't want to spend the money. Totally cool. Buy the steering wheel.
Yeah, but get the
Mini Yours steering wheel is the same size as the JCW steering wheel.
It is. It's a nice thick. I've got it on.
It's better leather. So it's a pro tip. You're basically getting everything you would with the JCW, but you're getting a higher quality leather.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's only $250.
Oh,
And
cool.
if you get if you order a JCW hardtop, it's a no cost upgrade.
It's free.
For
It doesn't even make any sense.
I know. That's why I did it on my JCW. It's got the Napa leather. And
It's got the Mini Yours. Everybody listening to this show, if you order a Mini, spend that money. You will never regret it.
Alex didn't listen to me. He wanted the JCW steering wheel with the red stitching and.
Yeah, and I'm really happy actually made the decision. Like I had a chance to when I ordered the Mini.
The leather's not as good.
No, I agree
yeah,
with
well,
you.
I couldn't tell the difference. Like honestly, I
let's all
couldn't
make
tell the
Alex
difference,
feel
man.
bad about this.
No, but you know what though is you can't add the
Richmond
Mini.
Can't tell the difference between leather. That's okay.
You can't add the
but it's
Mini.
like,
You can't add the Mini Yours steering
Hey,
wheel
you know
if
what?
you have the
can't put a price
JCW
on
interior
red
pack.
stitching.
I'm just saying.
First
Alex,
of all,
how-
yes.
Let's
You
let
can't
Alex.
put a
I want to
price.
hear Alex's rest of the story here.
Okay. So I was actually Todd like told me like before I made my final order, like, dude, you gotta order the Mini Yours steering wheel. And so like, okay, I'm gonna, I'm listening. And so I asked at Me of San Francisco if they had a car with the Mini Yours leather steering wheel, and they told me yes. So I went up to the car and I took the time to compare the steering wheel to the JCW one, and I still prefer the JCW because in some ways, so first of all, I couldn't feel the difference, and in some ways, like the small dots like within the leather, I don't know how you call this.
Perforation.
Yeah, perforation. Yeah, are the same that I used to have on my 135i, and so it was kind of the same steering wheel feel, and so I like that rather than just like plain leather all around. So those are the two reasons why I'm frankly like I couldn't feel the difference. Honestly.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. So okay. So okay, Todd.
I agree. When I get in, because I get to drive all the different cars all the time, and when I get in one that's got a Mini or steering wheel, I literally feel myself like relax a little bit more because it just feels so good. It's got that touch.
Because it feels.
I need a
so
towel.
good. Oh, easy.
Well, without everybody going into this, the configurator's up. You can build anything from high 20s Countryman all the way up to the 40s, almost $50,000 if you put everything on here and get the expensive paint and everything. So it kind of is every car for a lot of different budgets. You don't have to have a lot of money to buy one of these or ride one of these. And I think the fact that you're getting such a premium product and not have to spend a lot of money, I think the Cooper Countryman's going to be a sweet spot for sales.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know Mini's not
Totally.
Mini's not going to break those out. Unfortunately, they're just going to fall into, Cooper and Cooper S Countryman. And I think they break out the all fours though, but I don't remember.
I don't recall.
So should we compare like how much we got for the configuration we each made?
Oh
Yeah.
boy. I mean,
Mine's like $60,000 because I'm a hater.
that's the thing. It's like I
I would
what's the
36 and-
scenario? I mean,
36 and change for
Like, so I built one that I would probably actually go, yeah, you know what, I'd probably get this car. And I did a Cooper Countryman, all four, manual transmission, which I'd probably switched to an automatic, and I added a JCW interior package, I had a technology package, and HK, and I'm at 31.8. Boom.
So for me, I don't even know the options. I'll just
I picked the blue because it's the best color, the island blue. With a white roof.
I'll just say, like, I don't even know my options. Like, I would pick, I don't know, I'd pick a lot of options. I mean, I'd want all the packages, rear fog light, shit like that, stuff like that. Here's the thing. Here's the key thing. I want it white with black bumpers. I want that off-road package. I want it to look.
Yes, me too. Me too. I totally want the off-road package, which is why I didn't select the JCW exterior package.
Chunky and ridiculous as possible, and I want it to never be washed, and I want to put knobby tires on it.
Yep. Me too.
You could pull that off. You could really pull that off.
Yeah, with this one, I think this one will definitely work.
That's 100% what I want. Inside, I'd like it to be 100% Napa leather.
So you want it to be like the Goodwood on the inside, Gabe? Is what we're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd like to have my toes disappear.
Yes.
In the carpet.
In the thick, lush carpeting.
In the shag.
As far as these things are equipped, I think the Countryman is one of the nicest basic equipped cars because it comes with heated seats. It comes with a backup camera. Mm-hmm. It comes with LED headlights. Things like this that are standard on this car are pretty impressive. And I think you can take just pretty much the straight up car and put on the tech package and be very happy with it.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys know that the privacy window glass is being offered in the United States for the first time with this car?
I know.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't quite know what it was.
I didn't either.
Yeah, so if you look at an X5, for instance, an X5 has a standard. If anybody's around a BMW dealer, the X5 has this standard. It's not dark. It's not like black. It's just like a subtle darkening of the rear windows.
Okay.
It's the same thing that it's been offered on Minis in the UK since like 2003. So the R53 had it, 56, they all had it. But we in the United States have never had the option until now.
Interesting. Well, it's nice that we have it, and it's part of one of the packages. Which one was it in there?
It's nice because you could leave stuff in the back seat, and nobody could really see it that well.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
So you have you're less concerned about people breaking into your car.
Yeah, it's part of the premium package.
So DB picked it like island blue, Gabe white. I picked it green. What about the rest of you guys?
I picked blue with a white top.
I did melting silver with a white top and black wheels.
Okay, Grandpa.
I also went white with black just for the building configuration. I think I would probably buy a blue one if I really was in the market for it.
See, I think that reflects our age too, because I think Brian's the oldest of us.
Whatever.
He picked the AARP of getting
He picked the AARP color.
I got my red card. I'm pretty proud of that.
You know what's really funny, and this will get us away from the Countryman a little bit, is that's actually the color that BMW chose to display the Countryman at Detroit, because that's the only presence of Mini at the Detroit Auto Show is the Countryman, and it's the Grandpa Silver Countryman at the Detroit Auto Show. Mini's not there, but hey, you can go meet Lightning McQueen at the Detroit Auto Show.
Yeah, let's talk about this, DB. I mean, so I think for one, that is the launch color for the Countryman.
No. Oh, for the E? No. There should just be island blue.
It's the E that's there.
It is the Countryman E is that color.
Oh, okay.
That is the launch color, and I agree. It's super boring. I mean, I've seen that car in person, and you know what? Whatever.
Adding a white top makes it.
The yellow trim stands out.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Okay.
So a couple things on this. I was there last year.
Yeah.
Without Mini, and the show was great. I covered it for MotoringFile. It was great. There was no Mini presence whatsoever. This year, there is a Mini in the corner of the BMW show stand, but there's no Mini representatives, and I think it's interesting because there's just, when I say that, there's like no story to be told from Mini. Now the BMW guys will clearly tell the story, and I mean they're all the same team. But it's just interesting to me that Mini is basically saying like we're gonna just seed the Detroit Auto Show. It doesn't mean anything to us. It's an industry show. We're all about finding, a real audience and finding, the folks who actually buy our cars. Whether that be a Countryman launch event or whether that be a different type of auto show. And I think it's a little bit of a sad thing because the Detroit show used to be so spectacular. It used to be like big unveilings. The stuff they would give away was like just epic.
Right. It was the show
within 15 minutes for hundreds of dollars. The parties were epic. They're memorable, and the whole scene was just kind of surreal. And it's I don't want to say it's withering away because some elements are certainly there and they'll remain there, but it's certainly changing.
Yeah, it is, and I think trade shows in general are changing, and car companies are finally catching up to that. But I would agree with everything Gabe said because I've been to the Detroit show with you, Gabe, at least a half a dozen times now, and it wasn't surprising to see that Mini's not there. Other notable companies that were not there again this year: Porsche.
No, there. Porsche was there.
Porsche was there this year?
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They're not on the floor plan. No
you
way.
Sure about that?
Yeah, there were Porsche cars there on display at one of the the Bridgestone. The Bridgestone booth is what had the Porsches on display there. The tire booth. But they were not there in an official capacity, nor was Jaguar Rover or Tesla. Okay? And this is 2 years running now that those companies have not been there. So take that for what it is. What I think is interesting, and I'm going to segue, to sales a little bit, is how the U.S. seems to be, like we got to the end of the year last year, and we see global sales were the best year Mini's ever had in 2016.
Right. Okay. Which we kind of talked about in the last show.
Except in the U.S. Well, we predicted that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's true.
We finally got the final numbers last week, and because they just came out last week, and discovered that, sure, in the U.S. we were down, 11% for the year, total over the previous year, but global sales were at a record high. And we've all been left wondering, what the heck, right? Why are not Minis? And Gabe, you've been pounding the drum, and I think you're right about it, that in the United States, people are buying larger cars. They're buying SUVs and trucks, and small cars are starting to become a smaller and smaller part of the market. And I got to thinking about that, saying I understand, but why are they doing so well in the rest of the world? And because they're as expensive or more expensive in other parts of the world, in Europe especially. And Alex, you can probably speak to this better than any of the rest of us. As far as competition goes in Europe, in a small car like that, would you say that the rest of the competition, like a Peugeot or some of the other stuff that's available, is crap in quality in comparison to the Mini, and the Mini really feels premium in Europe as opposed to here?
So I would have said this of the French brands like a couple of years ago. But if you take the example of Citroën, like they came up like some years ago with their DS line. So they basically revived the DS brand and made it like a separate like line within like the Citroën lineup. And those cars are really really nice. Like, would I buy one of them? No, I wouldn't, because they drive like crap. But they look really nice on the inside and out. But as far as the Mini, the competition between Mini and the rest is concerned, I don't think there is as much as it's fairly similar. The difference being is that the gap, you won't hear someone cross shop a Mini against like an Audi, right? Like there is a very clear separation between like what Mini is and stands for and what the Audi, the Mercedes, the BMWs of the world like stand for. But when you talk to dealers here in the US, they will tell you very often that they have people coming into their dealership pricing a Mini, and it's pretty much the same price as an Audi, and they people are like, Audi is actually like, it's perceived as being an Audi or BMW for that matter, perceived as being like a really true luxury brand. And so people would rather like spend that money to get that actual, this is me, I got a luxury car, as opposed to a Mini. But Mini's in Europe is a little bit different. And also there's one other thing that you were meant to mention. In Europe they have the Mini One, and that
Right.
brings a lot of volume because those cars are more expensive. Like I don't know, for instance, what is the breakout in the US between the 320 and the 328. But I'm fairly certain, and Gabe can confirm this, that BMW brought back the 320 because it's a huge seller. I mean, it's a big seller, and so that's also another difference between the two. And then there's also a diesel model that we don't have in the US, that they are in Europe, and you guys know how big diesel is. So it's another like group of cars that is tidying up like the total for Mini Europe and rest of the world that that is kind of hard to compare against the US.
Yeah, I don't. No, I think we lost Gabe.
Yeah, I think we lost Gabe.
Gabe, we can't hear you.
We have Chad and
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Chad's still here.
Looks like Gabe might have dropped off the call.
While we try and get Gabe back into the call here,
Yeah.
I wonder, and I probably ought to wait till he comes back to talk about this.
Hello.
There he is.
There he is. There he is.
Hey. So I think that's a great segue, Alex. I think that the 320, the BMW 320, was designed to really combat the front-wheel drive Mercedes in the marketplace, and the front-wheel drive, the A3, is it?
Yeah.
The A3 sedan from Audi, because BMW doesn't have a front-wheel drive entry-level product outside of the X1, and so they had to create a product that gave them a price point around $30,000. What that does, as an aside, is it allows for really attractive lease pricing for a car for essentially an entry-level sedan. I think it's interesting because that product is much more premium than the Mercedes or Audi, or frankly the Mini products at that same price point.
Agreed.
The 320 is exceptional as value goes. Is it fast? No, it's not. But in terms of the actual quality of the product, it's kind of unparalleled with what else is out there. Not that different than the first generation X1, for instance. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I do think that the Mini has succeeded. When we think about like the product and we think about the platform sharing, Mini has succeeded in kind of leveraging all of that and becoming a more premium product along the way, though.
But is it a perception problem among buyers is the question. Is it a perception? Because we all agree Mini's a good product.
Yeah, but so I would say that in Europe, like if you take the same person in Europe and in the US, I think one individual in the US would perceive the brand as would understand that the brand claim itself as being like a premium / luxury brand, and would not necessarily buy into it because they think it's still a Mini and it's still looks super expensive. While in Europe, like that same person would understand would see that it's can be either like a luxury, like a very premium car if you buy like the S high-end model, because let's be honest, like the S in Europe is very, it's high-end. Like you see the S like every other corner in the street here in San Francisco. So seeing this on one side, and then at the same time seeing that it's actually like a cheap Mini for me, right? So I can still like be in a Mini, but I don't have to spend like thousands of euros to get into one. That's the thing in the US we don't have. Like it claims to be perceived as a luxury brand, or as a premium brand rather, but people don't necessarily align with that message. In Europe, they don't necessarily have to align with that message because there is a Mini for pretty much the largest spectrum of the market.
Yeah, and I think people get a misnomer because they go look at other cars, and I'm just saying, let's get back to the Countryman there. And if you go look at, say, a Honda CR-V, which is one of the best-selling, this mid-sized crossover SUV, kind of small SUVs in the U.S. right now, and my lady friend's parents have one, and I drive it quite frequently. I get the opportunity to go out, and I'm always the one who drives. And it's a fine car. It's not high premium, but it's not cheap either. It's not a science.
I've spent some quality time behind the wheel of a newish CRV, and I didn't find it to be terribly offensive.
Yeah, it's not terribly offensive, and I think for most people,
it's competent, right?
Yeah,
it's absolutely competent. It is, and
if you need to haul people and stuff and get good,
it's got a touch screen. It makes you feel like it's premium, and I think that in and of itself, you put a touch screen in the car, the nav-looking system, which this one doesn't even have navigation, but it has a touch screen to do everything.
Why does touchscreen matter?
I don't know, but it makes it
fancy.
Feel something
really
about
Gabe.
that.
But that screen in the CRV is terrible.
Oh, it's awful. And to turn the volume down on the radio.
Just because it's touchscreen, there's been touchscreen navs for 15 years. Like that's not.
Yeah, but not an inexpensive, not in a sub $30,000 car.
Right.
I don't know. They always look like they should have been.
Well, and what I'm saying is, I think the problem is that Mini is trying to compete with companies who have more premium products in the car, and I don't mean premium quality materials, but more perceived. Like Volkswagen has CarPlay, and
well, let's talk
everybody.
about this
Everybody has
Volkswagen's
CarPlay except for Mini right now.
Volkswagen's had the worst navigation systems. I mean,
no, Toyotas have been pretty bad, dude.
Well, let's take Japanese cars out of it. Let's just focus on
German cars.
Like
sure.
Premium air quotes here.
Okay.
European cars like
Fair
Volkswagen, etc. The screen in the Jetta, GTI, Golf, all those until recently was the size of what's that? You know that little box of gum you buy at the cash register? It's not that much bigger than that.
Yeah. And
it was a touchscreen. I mean, for God's sake, it was a touchscreen.
If where you touched it, something was going to actually
right.
happen.
Yeah, you're not sure what was going to happen, but it was a touchscreen. But the point there is that it was woefully behind, and as we know, the way things work in technology, there's typically when somebody's super far behind, if they're smart, they take that opportunity to make a leap, and that's what I believe Volkswagen has done in the past 6 months, really. They've taken a leap because they have been so far behind for so long. They're like, well, listen, who's recording this, by the way?
Yeah, I'm recording. Don't cuss, please.
Okay. So we're effed. They're like, we're effed, guys.
Yeah. Somebody keep fighting the diesel thing, and you guys go make it go away. Do something. Give us something. Do something. Give us some pure pizzazz.
Yeah. So no, I think this is actually I think in the works for a very long time. So we're effed, guys. Like we should just do a total rethink and think of this as a platform that we can layer upon different services. And so that's exactly what they did. And so they looked at it and said, let's just focus on the size of the screen and a platform that allows for different APIs and services and systems to be built on top of it. And so that has allowed them to integrate Android Auto, CarPlay, and now Alexa on top of it. Yep. Whereas BMW never had a system that was that bad. It was always pretty good. In fact, in a lot of ways, it was the best in the industry. And so they never had this oh shit moment of, oh my God, we have to do something. It was more of just like, hey, we're going to gradually, evolve this thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what they're doing. They're gradually evolving it. And their next gradual evolve for Mini will be this touch interface, which they introduced to the Countryman and the Clubman, not just JCW, but all Clubman, as Brian can mention, and in the LCI for the F56, F55, and F57, it will be there as well. And simultaneous to that, you will see the introduction of CarPlay to the Mini
later this year. Now, Brian, and speaking of this, we'll segue over. Brian, you've had a chance to play with the touchscreen, the new navigation system, which is basically iDrive 5, and they're calling it Mini Connected 5.0, at least on the configurator. You've had a chance to play with this in a new Clubman that comes in. Tell us your thoughts on how this compares to the previous generation and even the generation before that of nav and screens in the Mini.
Well, let me give you a little backstory on this. First is that it was a couple Saturdays ago, and I was sitting at my my desk doing my genius thing, and I get my name get screamed out from across the dealership. You got to get over here right now. And I come running over there, and one of our motoring advisors said, "This car has a touchscreen. This car has a touchscreen." They were all freaking out because, as the six of us know, Minnie doesn't tell us that they decided to put it out on a normal Clubman.
You didn't get that memo at the dealership, Brian? You guys didn't get that memo?
Oh no!
Oh wow,
no,
crazy! I got that memo.
And probably properly redacted everywhere that we would have never known that it was happening. And it was on a Cooper Clubman, not even an all-4, and it just showed up. The guy had ordered an XL screen, and there it was, with the whole new system in there and the wireless charging. Gabe had a chance to see it. It's a game changer. I mean, it's literally generational. Like how we saw technology in Gen 2 cars go to Gen 3 cars, I'm seeing the same thing even in this Gen 3 car, where we're looking at the tech going to the next generation. Because it's not just the touchscreen that's good. That in and of itself is amazing, but the voice control system is far advanced than what it used to be before. It actually speaks normally back to you, and it actually listens to what you have to say, and the recognition is better.
Well, and Brian, at the heart of this is a processor that is dramatically faster than before. And you can speak to this. The reaction time of the touch as well as the center control, the iDrive, is dramatically improved.
Yo, I agree. And, before when you'd use voice command to say enter an address or something like that for navigation, you did have a moment of pause that you could pause in between, say, entries. On the new system, absolutely not. If you even try to take a half a breath, she's done listening and she's already started moving on to whatever your entry is. Right. So you got to have, basically all your ducks in a row. What I found awesome was, I could voice command split screen if I wanted to.
Nice.
Show split screen. Boom, it shows up. And it is fast, Gabe. You're absolutely right. Processor speed is good. The graphical processor is good. The touchscreen processor is really, really precise. Although, depending on how handsy you are with the screen will depend on how well it functions for you. But I did, when I posted that video in Slack, and I apologize for how disjointed it is. You guys get the idea how functional it is. It actually makes things that much easier for your experience in your car.
Yeah.
And we're also told that CarPlay is not compatible with this right now. It's going to be compatible on June builds, but
I think it's just going to be a software update, Todd. Honestly,
I don't think so.
Really? Why?
Oh.
That would be ridiculous. I
agree. So here's the thing. So I think that it's a completely different build, and the way they do it is it's and this is probably wrong, but the way they do it is they have software builds based on VEN, and they test it. Think like a German for a second. They test it really, really, really specifically to that VEN, and if that VEN falls outside of a certain date range, they will not allow it to be installed.
Backwards compatible. Yeah,
it will not. It just simply will not work. Could it be forced in some crazy way to a system that has that software built in, or that hardware built in? Maybe theoretically, but not from BMW. I just don't believe that they would do that. I hope I'm wrong. Because I do believe that it would be great for people to buy the car tomorrow with that hardware there, who could get it upgraded.
Let me
don't
ask you
think
guys.
Anybody should have that expectation. I really don't.
Let me ask you guys this question, since I haven't had very much experience with CarPlay. So, on every car that you guys have had experience with, do you have to plug in physically, or is it a Bluetooth connection?
No, you have to plug in physically.
It's all
Okay.
physical.
For now,
Yeah. So, as you saw at CES, Alpine announced their Wi-Fi compatible CarPlay, and so Bluetooth compatible CarPlay is really not even
BMW is the
fully
only company that has any cars right now, and it's only in the 7 Series and a couple of 5s.
The 5 Series, the new 5 Series will have it. The 7 Series has it. And I will tell you that people look at CarPlay and say, "Oh, I want CarPlay," oh, this car has CarPlay, I want that car. There's a wide disparity in the execution of CarPlay.
Yeah, I agree.
The automotive industry. There are some that are terrible. They're slow. The screens are bad. It's not the experience you want. It's barely any better than the built-in nav. I think if you have a fast navigation, a wireless connection, essentially, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of comments, and then one question also for Gabe. The first comment is that if this is actually not like backward compatible, this is. I mean, I am still a little bit dumbfounded by the fact that in this day and age, like a company like BMW, even though it's a small company compared to the some of their competitors, like are still not. If that's the case, and again, I could be totally wrong, right? So I apologize in advance. Are still not like using like standard software practices and hardware practices to just manage their products, such as this one. So that's like highly disappointing, and that keeps me thinking like, what are they gonna do when it comes to services and stuff? They're gonna have to compete it with the likes of Tesla and other companies like this.
Because you're not thinking like a German, Alex.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, they need to be thinking like Americans for
Well, yeah, you're right, Alex. You're totally right.
And then the second thing is that the first time that we see in their marketing material that they're actually giving like a version name to the product name?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And that's interesting.
Both things you just said are true. I think that there's a change coming to BMW in this regard. I think that you have called out an issue, and I think that there is a new. Listen, I mean, Tesla showed us what's possible, and they showed us what's possible in a way that was so obvious because it was the best practice for any other industry from a software perspective, and so. We looked at this and said, oh, okay, well, why wouldn't we have normal software releases? Because our Macs and our iPhones have had that, and it's like super easy and simple, and it just happens overnight. So the fact that Tesla is doing that, in some ways, of course they're doing that. In other ways, it's a completely industry-shattering moment.
Yeah.
The other thing that you just mentioned is really interesting, and I think it's also another sea change. What BMW is doing is there's number one, if you remember when they talked about iDrive, they talked about it at its release, they talked about iDrive. When there was a new version of iDrive that came out in 2006, they never said this is iDrive 2.0.
Yeah.
They called it iDrive. It was iDrive. When 3 came out, they called it iDrive. When 4 came out, they called it iDrive. Mm-hmm. So to your point, this is the first time they said we have a new version of iDrive, and they recognize the importance of technology in cars now. They should have recognized it a long time ago, truth be told, but they're recognizing it now, and they're saying, "Hey, wait a second, we should actually publicize the fact that we have a new version of iDrive, and we should publicize the fact that the 2017 3 Series has iDrive 5 versus the 2016, which had a version." That's cool, and that may sell more cars. So you're right, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that. You're going to see Mini do that. You're going to see Mini talk about CarPlay soon. There's going to be a lot more emphasis. I mean, just remember this because I've been told this. I've been told this by a few people. There's going to be a lot more emphasis on technology in cars as a key component to refreshes and complete redesigns.
So what I would like to applaud
really quick.
Thing I would like to applaud at the end is the fact that they spending still so much resources and money on their own interface, regardless of the fact that CarPlay is coming. And that's for someone like me, that's really nice because first of all, it's personalized. Like it's not, I don't get the BMW iDrive. I get like really like a mini iDrive, even though it's the same thing on the back end. And also, like when I get out of CarPlay, I don't end up in a place that is all crappy and looks old and doesn't work super well. It looks really, really nice. Like on Brian's video, it looks really, really nice.
Well, the one thing too, before when we would deliver cars, is it would be a fairly simple process to go through the technology in the car because technology was such a minimal amount of the car. Until now, it's almost a separate delivery just to do the tech that's in the car on its own now. So, we've already started talking about it at our store. Is that I'll end up doing all the touchscreen deliveries because of the amount of complexity is it's over the top for a lot of our MAs, So
Right.
Interesting.
Think about it from a marketing standpoint too. There's a lot of people who they might be looking at minis right now going, oh, I'd really love to have a mini, but I can't afford one. Okay. And their only option is to buy a pre-owned one that's a few years old. Okay. And if you have technology that, say, 3 to 5 years from now is still going to be somewhat updatable or somewhat relevant to the world, don't you think you're going to make a lifetime fan of your car brand easier than you would if you're like, okay, I can afford this 8-year-old Mini, but it's got a nav system that is not updatable. I can never put new maps in it. Right. And yeah, well, it might be cool. I'm never going to use it because it's completely useless. The technology.
Well, that's where Tesla did it all right. I mean, their cars are literally, you just upload a new software package and you've got new features,
Right. Or, hey, you want 40 more horsepower? We just gave it to you
Boom.
overnight.
Exactly.
Right.
Ludicrous.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really, really quick, I want to point something out that Gabe had mentioned just a minute ago, that he's heard from several people about whatever he heard about. And I just want to remind everybody that Gabe heard from several people that the United States was also going to get the diesel Mini. So we'll just kind of keep that in mind. And let's go ahead.
That was DB.
And let's follow that up with the hashtag DB was right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Gabe.
That's working. Because at the time, DB, that was true. You can talk to the many people, the many folks that you and I both know, and ask them that question, and they'd smile and look at you and say, "Well, because that was going to happen."
Yeah.
That was
okay. You're so funny.
Trusted executives from Volkswagen.
and then Volkswagen got destroyed and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And they jacked it up for everybody.
I guarantee you, Mini is going to get CarPlay. How's that?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Really quick, I want you guys to click over to motoringfile.com because I know you're trying to keep up with the Dakar Rally. Currently, Mini's hanging out in the top 10. I think that race is still going on.
Yeah, it is.
Top 10 still.
Yep, top 10 still. Dropped back to 5th, it looks like, but, follow up, motoringfile.com's got all the updates.
It's tough. It's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowded field. They're fighting Peugeot, who has
and Toyota
a
too.
spaceship-looking race truck.
Right.
And Mini's got the Countryman, and it's great and all, but oh my God, have you seen this Peugeot? And it's driven by Sebastian
Peter Hansel. Yeah, by the guy who won it for Mini.
Well, Loeb is leading. Last I saw.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love Sebastian Loeb? Like, the guy's amazing. Yeah. But it's tough, man. I mean, Mini's done well for many years, but
for those who don't know, I just want to
pretty good.
I just want to remind everybody that Sebastian Loeb is French.
Yeah.
He is French. He is. And Alex, I will tell you right now, he is the coolest Frenchman I think ever.
Yeah, I wish he'd competed in F1, honestly, but
that Peugeot.
I gotta
say really quick. That Peugeot is crazy looking.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
It looks like a rally fighter.
Yeah,
Alex, I've never been a Loeb fan forever. I've watched my share of Dakar, but I watched Loeb race in WRC last year, in Europe and stuff, and watched his interviews. And I like the guy. I think he's a great guy.
He's amazing. Do yourself a favor. Watch the Red Bull video of him taking on the the mountain in Colorado.
Oh yeah, Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
Watch that. And I feel like I grew up watching him in WRC in the 2000s when he was like in his heyday. I mean, he had such a great attitude, but he was so focused. You could tell he worked his ass off. He was so focused, but he had a very chill attitude about it. And it sort of it all came together with his driving style. It was so smooth, and it was so on point. And he was effortlessly faster, and not just a little bit, effortlessly faster than his competition by a wide margin.
Yeah,
it was amazing to see.
And he's won it 9 times. This is crazy.
Oh yeah, it was beyond dominant.
Yeah, we're the Finn who's driving the Mini is 53 minutes behind Loeb right now. Oof. And he's in 5th.
Yikes!
So there's 3 Peugeots, a Toyota, us, and then there's a couple Minis, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
That's Mikko Hirvonen. Mikko Hirvonen was a competitor of Loeb Granted, he never won. And I always loved Migo Hirvonen back in the day with WRC. Like, really, it's the same thing. Very good attitude. Like, really self-aware, funny guy. But he's no Sebastian Loeb.
No.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with Gabe.
Nice.
So can I talk a little bit about, because I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, can I pay a little bit more bills and let you talk about it?
Oh, pay some bills.
That would be dope. Because I want to remind everybody really quick: take a break, take a stretch, refill your beverage, and then keep your headphones in. Obviously, because I want to tell you guys about one of the other fine sponsors here underneath the white roof. Our friends over at Craven Speed, still chugging along, making all the really cool stuff for your Mini and other brands that you're looking for. It's super duper awesome. Todd's got to pay a gin bill. Can't help with that one. Anyway, go over to Craven Speed. You have first generation Mini. You're still rocking the R53. You're going to get a Craven Speed pulley. That is one of the best upgrades you can do to your car. You want the cool dipstick for your first or second gen Mini. You can actually read and won't break, and it's not like stupid hard to put in. R56 owners know what I'm talking about. Go over to Craven Speed and get yourself a Craven Speed dipstick. I just got one. Our friend Richard Lindsay, friend of the show, Richard Lindsay, just donated one to the cause. And I'm going to be putting that in my car this weekend. I'm really excited about it. Not only that, but you could do like Alex has done. I hope Alex has done it, and put a platypus license plate mount on your car if you live in one of those states where you have to have a license plate on the front of your car like Alex does. Alex, have you done that yet?
Like every
Yes,
state except for two, by the way.
Yeah,
He's just fighting the man.
Yeah, Arizona's one.
Communist state.
Yeah, Arizona does not need license plate on the front. But if I did, I would get the platypus license plate route. And also, if you're a California driver, you know that it's now officially law. You can't even think about your cell phone while you're driving. Craven Speed got you covered there as well with the FlexPod adapter for your phone, for your Mini. You put it in there, gives your Mini someplace really cool to live. You can see the screen. You don't have to touch it. Super duper awesome. All that and more available over at Craven Speed. CravenSpeed.com. Go over there, check it out if you'd be so kind. And you know what? If you place an order, make sure that there's a note field there. Make sure you say, hey, thanks for supporting White Roof Radio. We really appreciate that. So do they. They, of course, being our friends over at Craven Speed. CravenSpeed.com. Go check them out now, please. Gabe.
I'm super excited.
Gabe is super excited because Gabe posted this in our Slack channel, and it was super excited that he posted this in our Slack channel. And this is it's really exciting. Because we were all really excited.
Cannot hide it.
I was so excited.
Here's the thing, MotoringFile every year has. This site has been around for a long time, and obviously has reviewed lots of cars. And part of that is doing long-term reviews. So that means that we get a chance to review a car for more than just a week, but actually live with the car day to day, and tell you all the weird stuff that happens,
much like you've done with the Countryman.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry, the Clubman. Yeah,
Clubman.
That's what I meant.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Basically, we get to live with the car and tell you what to expect if you want to buy one, or tell you not to buy one, or talk you into buying one. And I think that it's the ultimate way to really understand what a Mini is about. So over the last few years, we have long-term tested, and when I say long-term, we've had cars for a year. We've long-term tested the R60 Countryman, which we gave a passing grade, by the way.
That car wasn't horrible.
Wasn't horrible. Had a terrible clutch, which they subsequently fixed.
Yeah,
They all did.
Yeah. We the saying during the saying during May Take States is I didn't install the Countryman.
Yeah. That was always the trick. Is like, if you could get in that Countryman and not stall it the first time you drove it, you earned bonus points. So after that, we had the beloved
the JCW
Roadster, which I still regret not buying.
You know, that car came up for sale but a year ago in New Jersey. Yeah.
There's an amazing vehicle. I mean, I think that was probably, to this day, was the best long term we had.
Nice.
After that, then we had we had a little break.
Yes.
And then we moved an F56 Cooper S, which was, generally speaking, a pretty good car. Had a couple issues with it, which you can go back on MotoringFile and go to the MF Garage section, read all about it. And then after that, we had the current car, which is an F54 Mini Clubman Cooper S manual transmission.
That's a car you've been trying to convince everybody to buy.
Which I have to tell you is phenomenal, has been excellent. It is the perfect combination of mininess and utility. And when I look at the new Countryman, I think it's great. If you want an SUV, if you want a crossover, it seems like a perfect vehicle. I haven't driven one yet, but it has a lot of promise. Yet on paper, the Clubman has less weight, is faster, is more efficient, and because of the less weight, probably is more effective at driving like a Mini. It's got the same utility space, more or less. You know, it to me, the Clubman is this special sort of like, you know, mix of what makes a Mini great and what most people need on a daily basis. So when I spoke to Mini about our next long-term loan, you know, there's a lot of different avenues we go down. We talked about an F56 because that's obviously a key part of the brand. We talked about the convertible because it's recently come out. We talked about, of course, the Countryman and potentially waiting until summer to make that happen. We talked about the 5-door Mini or / 4-door Mini, if you will. And there was a couple reasons why none of that made sense. The F56 and the F55 and the F57 are going to be refreshed this year. So to me, it doesn't make sense to talk about that car 6 months before it changes.
Right.
The F60, the Countryman, you know, there's still 6 months out until it really is available for a long-term loan. It doesn't make sense to talk about that quite yet, in my mind. There's one car that, to me, is the sleeper and potentially and probably the best car of the range.
I think this is going to be the unicorn of Mini as well, much like the M4.
Yeah, I don't know if that analogy is exactly what I would use, but this is a car to me that represents a lot of what I love about the brand. And that car is the JCW Clubman.
Nice.
And that is the car that we will have for 2000.
Yeah, I'm with DB. I think it's going to be a bit of a ghost.
Yeah, it's going to be total unicorn.
Because,
It's going to be awesome.
Unicorn, the M4 has outsold the M3
the
previous generation, so that would not be a unicorn to me. It's actually done very well.
I'm not seeing
But it's going to be like
them.
the previous Clubman JCW, which are rare.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, it's rare in that all JCWs are fairly rare. I think that JCW as a product is more of a rare product. I mean, it's the most expensive of any of the models. So I think that's not unusual. I think the point is that.
Oh no, did we lose Gabe?
Uh-oh.
Yes, we did.
Oh, man.
I did not want to hear the rest of that.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because, you know, he said JCWs are rare, and the other day I just got
There's several things I want to.
Oh, he's back. Okay, good. Keep going, Gabe.
I think he's still talking. He doesn't know we can't hear him.
Oh.
I should tell my anecdote about this. I was driving the other day. I was at a stoplight, and a kid on a bicycle, he waves at me and tells me to roll down the window. And I roll down the window, and he's like, "Is that a JCW?" And I said, "Yes." Just a young kid that you wouldn't think would know anything about Minis. And he goes, "I love that car." He goes, "It makes me want to go buy one when I get old enough."
Old enough.
Old enough.
I thought that was funny. It was
Nice.
like, hey, kids being inspired by cars. Where has that gone?
Right. Right.
You know what?
Did we lose? Did we
Minis
for
went on
real
such
lose
rail
Gabe?
traps, I would probably consider
you
like
got-
the JCW Clubman as the next.
You got a
list.
lemon. My car is rock solid. It's so glorious,
Except for the Bluetooth.
except for the Bluetooth issue. Which
Yeah.
But hey, I'm having them look into that. What can I say?
You know what's sad about the since we're waiting for Gabe is I'm on the configurator again. I'm looking at the JCW Clubman all four. You know what's really sad about this car? You can't get it in a color.
Nope.
Well, that's not true. You can get it in chili red, or you can get it in lapis luxury blue, which is really just like, you know, a funky dark purple, or you
Rebel.
get it in rebel green. But otherwise, if you're just getting like regular paint, it's, you know, gray, silver, black, silver, or gray.
Good times.
Good times.
Yep.
Good
Hello.
times. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, you had another point.
Oh man, brutal connection here. So, so I mean, there's several things I'm really excited about with this car. So, number one, it's a JCW,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that we've talked about this for a while. The whole promise of JCW being more than just an engine, it's here now. Like it's thoroughly here, and the beauty of it is, this is a wagon.
Yes.
This is a high performance wagon. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Like I'm kind of whispering here, but like this is like it's kind of hidden in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
This is the thing that nobody else makes anymore. I mean, it's like a ghost. It's a unicorn.
Well, not in the U.S. They still make an M5 wagon.
It's an amazing. No, they don't actually.
They don't. Well, they stopped.
Yeah, they only did it for one generation. So this is an amazing opportunity to basically drive the car that people should be buying. It's incredible. So
And
this
the
is
reason I'm not going to buy it, Gabe, is because it's going to be 46 to 50 grand.
that wouldn't. I mean that wouldn't stop me. I mean, when I think about it, like I would spend, if I bought an X1, I would spend at least that.
Yeah.
On X1.
You know, I just configured. I just configured a
Like,
Clubman all
this
4
would be
JCW for
way more
38.
to me. Yeah,
I'm
I
like
mean,
43.
so you can get this car for way less, and once obviously we can deal on it a little bit and get it even for less, and it's a car that, in my mind, is way more interesting than most of the products that are sold within that segment. Way more. I mean, does it have the power of the Golf R? No, it does not. It's a different vehicle. I mean, the JCW Clubman is a very unique vehicle. It doesn't play in the same ballpark as the Countryman, yet it, I think, has the same attributes. That's kind of what makes it special in my mind. The uniqueness of the tailgate, obviously, the fact that it sort of feels like a wagon, but it's not. It's going to have more power. It's going to have, great brakes. It's going to have great suspension. I'm really excited about it. So there's a couple things I'm really interested. A, it's a JCW. I'm very interested to see how this new engine with the higher torque levels works with this car.
Right.
The big brakes, how does that work with the car, suspension, etc. I'm going to have the new navigation as well. So it's going to have a touch screen in it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we were just talking about earlier. Very excited about that. And then finally, this will be the first long-term loan that I've ever had at MotoringFile that is an automatic.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
this Sport Auto 8-speed
I think
automatic.
that's okay.
I think so too, because on paper that car is faster than the manual.
It is. And I think you're right. And listen, guys, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little nervous because I'm going to have to learn how to drive an automatic.
Right.
Yes, you are.
So
No, you'll have
this
to learn
is
not to have to put yourself to the windshield.
so this is a whole new thing for me, but I'm dedicated to do it. I'm going to spend a couple Saturdays and learn how to drive an automatic.
No
and
parking lots,
Just-
no light pole.
Yeah, stay
Yeah.
away from the parking lots with light poles.
finds the parking lots, open spaces.
Yeah, Kmart's
and,
gonna have
and just do
cover
it.
there.
But I mean, I think to your point, like this is the 8-speed ASIN transmission that is really good in the Countryman. What I want to know is how much better is it in the JCW, because obviously it's a different software package.
Right.
So how does that feel? We know that the 6-speed ASIN that is in the JCW F56 is actually pretty good. It's surprisingly good. How much better is this? That's my question.
I bet it's going to be really good. I'm excited to hear what you find out and what you think about this car. So and
Yeah,
you should be
listen,
getting
you
this.
guys-
You
guys
should
have
be
to come
getting
to
this.
Chicago.
You should
need
be
to do
getting
some
this like a
back-to-backs.
good weather time in Chicago as well, right?
Well, so it's interesting because this is all-wheel drive, and so this is
Oh,
going
so
to
it
be the
doesn't really matter.
first opportunity for me to drive the new all-wheel drive system before the Countryman comes out.
Right.
And so yeah, I mean, one of the first things I want to do is I want to get some all seasons and or snows on it, and take it up to Wisconsin or Michigan and just hit some snow.
Right.
and see what it's like. I mean, I have a ton of experience driving the previous all-4 system. This one is supposed to be much quicker to engage. It's going to be theoretically a little bit more rear biased if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to know what that actually means in real world terms.
All right. I'm thinking a donut video in an empty parking lot in the snow.
Maybe. So I love that we had this conversation and nobody wants to know what color it is because that's a true
I know what color.
So Gabe, here's
Gabe,
here's the thing. We already know the color, but when you're looking at the JCW Clubman all 4, your choices are pretty similar. We talked about this when you were dropped off because you get to choose from either gray, silver, black, silver, or gray. So I'm guessing you're going black.
So this car is going to be Rebel Green.
Nice.
With a black top.
Sad, but okay.
I think we would all prefer a white top.
Yes.
All right, I would.
The white top looks really nice with the Rebel Green.
Yeah, I would prefer a white top. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And inside, it is going to be. Unfortunately, it will not have the JCW sport seats. It will have the excellent. I will tell you the excellent Cooper S sport seats.
Ah, there you go. Those are good.
That is even more sad. Being an owner of the JCW seats for almost a year now. Yeah, that is just sad.
It is sad. I will say this, Todd. I did 1,000 miles in those seats, and they don't quite have the support that I think there's less support in those seats than the standard seats, but the rest of what they do makes up for it.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience in the standard seats because, well, actually, think about it. What was our Cooper? It had the
it was the Cooper S we had on Mini Texas States was the sport seats, but not the leatherette. It was the leather ones.
Yeah, I thought they were fine.
They were really great.
I like my JCW ones a little bit better.
There's less bottom cushion support.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. They're pretty hard.
Yeah, and lower back. But I mean, listen, they're great. Like you get used to it. It's almost not worth even mentioning because they're so great.
I know. Quickly, Alex, what are your thoughts on the JCW seats then? For you've had the car 7 months now.
Yeah, well, I don't have them. Remember, I'm one of those guys who decided.
Oh, you got like Gabe. You got the standard because you hated the. God, I want to hit you in the side.
I know that's.
I think Brian, don't you have the JCW seats in your car?
Alex, that's a stupid move.
I do not.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Let me tell you why. I think I already justified myself on this show, but I'm gonna do it again.
And we're gonna laugh at you one more time.
The reason I choose them is not because they are not comfortable. They are really comfortable. They are really, really good seats, right? So if you just for someone just thinking about comfort, I mean those are nice. The one thing I didn't like on those seats is the fact that they lack discretion. And the both options, actually, both JCW options like discretion. Like the really expensive one, like the $1,900 ones, like they have this big, red thing on the side, which is not a good red, by the way. And the other ones, they have those stripes in the middle, like those gray, greenish. I mean, it's kind of weird what color it is, this thing, like right in the middle of the seat. And I'm like, if they had been all black, I would have go with those seats, like no problem. But I like discretion in the interior. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So Alex, that's the only potential excuse you could have possibly done. That you possibly said that would have sold me. I totally hear you, and I believe that you are correct.
Yeah. No, DB, I have the cross punch leather.
Oh, got it. I thought you had this. Sorry.
No, and that's exactly what mine will have as well as the black cross punch.
Well, which is a fine option as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Gabe, this is exciting times we're entering right now. I gotta say.
So it's exciting. It should be a few weeks. Obviously, we'll do the full unboxing on MotoringFile and Instagram, etc. I don't know if I can actually promise a full box that it comes above, but it is.
Maybe
exciting.
just get you a big bow.
Yeah.
Can I tell you one more thing I'm excited about?
Yeah, Gabe's really excited. I'm hoping this is going to be news. Never mind. I forgot what I was going to say.
All right. So it's tomorrow. It's January. It's going to be January 11th tomorrow.
Yes.
It's going to be a high of 40 in Chicago. It's going to be dry. It just rained the past 2 days. Quite a lot. Enough rain. Enough rain, you guys say? Yes, enough rain to potentially wash away all the salt.
Oh,
You know where I'm going?
nice.
I think tomorrow
1M?
is going to be a 1M day.
No.
A rare
Wow.
January 1M day. It hasn't been out. I haven't driven it in 2 months. It's been
Wow.
on battery tender. So that's really, when it comes down to it, that's actually what I'm excited about right now.
Gabe, I've got right now, I'm not kidding, I've got my legs and my arms crossed, and I'd cross my eyes, but Mom told me if I did that for too long, I'd stay that way forever. So
Oh, God.
I'm crossing all the things for you, my man.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
Yes, that's exciting times. That's a nice car. I like the 1M.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, like the Countryman too. Does anybody have anything else? We've gone just a skosh long tonight.
Yeah, so I misunderstood you at the beginning of the show. I thought that Gabe knew what the next mini is going to be. That's what I thought. Like you would reveal on the show, and not
Wait.
the next motoring.
Well,
file.
Well, it's obviously a hovercraft. I mean,
Well, the
The
next mini is going to be a
mini
pickup
model,
truck.
The next mini.
It's going to
yeah,
be a
the next
pickup
mini
truck.
model. Yeah.
Be a pickup truck.
Oh, God.
Because they've been posting pictures of classic mini pickups on the Instagram and Twitter. So I say the next mini is going to be a pickup truck. An El Camino Mini Cooper. Come on.
Won't be. It won't.
Yes,
be,
it's going to be a Clubman without the cover on the back. It's just going to be a pickup bed. It's going to be the mini Camino.
No, not at all. No.
So you know what? If they want good press from Jalopnik, that's the car they got to build.
The next mini is. I mean, you know the cars. I mean, you know what they have. I mean, there's no surprises. I mean,
Yeah.
The refresh. I'm actually. I've been working on an article, a pretty in-depth article about the 2018 refresh for a while. That'll be happening in 2017. That's going to be the next big story. The big story after that is the electric mini.
Right. Yeah, that'll be the big one.
And that's going to be 2019, and that's it. Like that's your next mini.
Right.
And
then the mini pickup truck.
Yeah, there's going to be the full fourth generation mini, which will fly and serve you dinner at the same time.
And I hear it runs on garbage.
But it won't have CarPlay.
But it won't have CarPlay.
And it will be really,
It will
really
not
big.
have CarPlay. No, Todd, it'll have
So
CarPlay.
big.
It will not have Android Auto.
Yeah.
It will have a Mr. Fusion.
I will be seeing the Countryman on Friday. I think Todd will be too, right, Todd?
Yes, we have one here on Friday.
Nice.
Yep.
Exciting.
every
Very-
dealer's getting one.
Very cool. So you guys know we'll be talking probably more about that car here in the coming days and weeks as they start showing up. If you guys have got a chance to check it out, drive it for your local dealer or whatever, click back over to whiteroofradio.com, leave it on the show notes, ping us over on Twitter or on the Facebooks. That'd be super dope. Or, post your pictures and tag us on Instagram. That'd be rad too. What else? Anyone? Going. Okay.
Nope.
Then now, for those of you who are still remaining, let's take care of the last little bits of business here. First of all, I would like to direct everybody over to the DetroitTuned.com Facebook page. So facebook.com/DetroitTuned. I want you to read up on all of the information that Chad's been posting. If you are within, half day's drive of the shop, I want to make sure you've penciled in, or actually inked in, January 21st, right, Chad? For your
Yes.
grand opening party?
Yep.
So-
We're having a little shindig.
Little shindig over at the shop, over at the new Detroit Tuned, and that's happening January 21st. Get that on your calendars, gang. Go check out the new shop. It'll be rad and awesome. You can see a bunch of cool minis. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Corvettes and Volkswagens and
And the shop van.
in the shop van. Yeah. I mean,
What?
it's running on 7 cylinders right now, so it's great.
That's why I go to Detroit Tuned, is just so I can see the shop van. Come on.
Just needs spark plugs.
Shop
It's good.
van.
Yeah, the shop van.
And
And then
as of yesterday, every single car I owned was broken.
that's really funny because, that's your chosen
didn't break
profession
them all,
is. Right. Okay. Fair enough. And then after you, of course, before you go to the Detroit Tune grand opening party, I want you to click over to DetroitTune.com and, get yourself something nice, please.
Yeah.
All right. That'd be super rad. Like, 5-lug spare tire for the F56. Hello. Hey, Chad, is your mom still making those really cool covers for the spare tires?
She is. She's got her own little new office now. She's super excited. She's got a bunch of pictures of really buff dudes on calendars, and then a mini picture.
Chad just wants you to think that he's really run a sweatshop back there.
Yeah, it's what we call it, the sweatshop. Yeah,
and it's just your mom.
Yeah, it's just my mom.
That's really funny.
Every once in a while, he throws a sandwich in there.
Well, now there's actually a window between my office and her office, so yeah, you just smile and wave. We try to keep things really light at the shop, so we're always having fun.
Oh, good.
90% of the time, we take it way too far.
There you go. Again, that's DetroitTune.com. Remember, gang, mark this on your calendars. January 21st. You probably saw it on the White Roof Radio Facebook page. You probably saw it on the Detroit Tune Facebook page. If you're not following either of those pages, well, make 2017 the year you actually fix that. I'll put links to those in the show notes, but go check it out. Make sure you go check out the shop. Stop by, say hi to Chad. Tell him how rad he is. All the things. Be bitching. Right.
And if you're listening to this like 3 weeks late, sorry you missed it.
Yeah. For this one of the reasons why you should stay a little bit more up to date, Chris. Anyway. Also, for those of you who are still listening, I would like to direct you over to motoringstripes.com. Todd, what is new at motoringstripes.com for 2017?
Actually, there's going to be some incredibly new stuff as soon as we get some stock. We've sold out of, since the last time we talked, I sold out of Clubman bumper protection strips again.
Really? The new ones? So you can't keep them in stock long enough to put them on the website?
Yeah, so I got to get this.
Todd, I'm gonna need a set of that.
I'll hook you up. And yeah, the material is a special material, comes from 3M, and it's been hard to get lately. So, but I ordered an extra large supply of it.
Ah, awesome.
I'll tell you right now, everything is hard to get right now. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a sticker, a sway bar, or maybe even a brand new car right now. Everything is out of stock right now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Every manufacturer's like, it's winter. You don't need one of these.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Motoringstripes.com. Also, I want you to make sure you click on the swag link. You can check out the really cool keychains. They're motoring badge inspired keychains. Super duper awesome. Those are all really, really cool. Of course, the stripes, which are awesome. Todd Pearson stripes on your Mini. You don't have to do a graphics party in Philly to get them done. He'll send them to you. You install them yourself. Super rad. And remember, the motoringstripes.com hack is if you want the White Roof Radio Sunroof Delete Kit, use the contact form, send Todd an email, and he will send you a quote.
I just shipped one out in red.
See? Perfect. You can do it in whatever color you like. Super duper awesome, super duper rad. All that available for you over at motoringstripes.com because, blank is boring.
It's boring.
Coming to stores near you, the gin.
Okay.
The gin what, Chad?
The gin what?
Well, the Motoring Stripes gin.
Motoring Stripes. Todd's gonna he's gonna do
Yeah.
his own craft of gin.
Yeah, we got a still working in the background.
That's what that weird hum was this morning, wasn't it?
He's got his dog guarding it.
Good grief.
A little fluffy dog.
Yeah, Motoring Stripes gin. Yeah, okay, I think we're done.
Yes.
And with that, I am going to call ours done. Guys, thanks so much for sticking around. We really appreciate it. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Hope everybody had a great New Year. I hope everybody's super excited for 2017. We get looks like the event landscape is shaping up to be pretty amazing. I believe this is the ANVIV year, so that should be pretty awesome, plus everything else that's happening around the world. What's that? Minis on the Mac is happening again this year.
Yep.
Yeah. And, of course, the Dragon and whatever else. There's a couple others. So it should be
ANVIV?
ANVIV's this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's going to be a change to ANVIV, and I'm trying to get the people to give me the information so I can sneak it out to you guys before anybody else hears about it. But it's supposed to be super cool from what I understand. So
At least our Patreons.
yeah, and don't forget about that too. And we'll talk about that next time. So yeah, really, really cool stuff coming for 2017. I'm really excited. That's just me. But otherwise, we are done for the night. I want to thank everybody. Thanks again to Brian Dallas for joining us as well from Ride Bikes Radio. That's the other podcast that we do under the White Roof. Brian and I talk about bicycles, for everybody else. We do that every other week, just about. Just like if we're not making White Roof Radio, we're talking about bicycles. It's pretty rad. If you like talking about bicycles, go over there, check us out. Ride Bikes Radio. We're available everywhere White Roof Radio is. Otherwise, we are done, gang. Thanks again. This is the part of the show where I like to make that funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. Until next week, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Cheers.
See ya.
Done. Cheers.
Oh my God.
Everybody at once. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm done.
Cheers.
Yeah, see, we have always sucked at this. We have always sucked at this. 11 years, almost 12 years, we have always sucked at this.
Cheers.
Bye.
And there's
I have an
Gabe.
excuse.